and recycling workers today. So this is Waste and Recyclers Week, and the floor is yours, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see you gave me the dirty work. That was a joke. Is Kaz here? You want to come on up to the podium if you would, sir, and bring your team on up. You can bring some of the team with you if y'all want to come on up.
They don't want to come up there.
We know you guys are the ones that do all the hard work. All right, now we can talk trash. All right. Whereas members of the Solid Waste Association of North America recognize the week of June 17th as Waste and Recycling Workers Week, and waste and recycling workers provide an essential service to keep Santa Rosa County clean. And according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, there's a direct correlation between the eradication of many diseases and higher public sanitation standards resulting from effective garbage disposal. And the often thankless work of waste disposal is done by the selfless men and women employed at the Santa Rosa County Central Landfill who work in all types of environments and at risk to themselves to provide solid waste services to protect our communities and to prevent disease and pollution of our soil, water, and air. And it is appropriate to recognize and celebrate the value of our solid waste employees for their commitment to our residents, businesses, and communities, and their contributions to the safety, health, and welfare of our residents. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Santa Rosa County that June 16 through the 22nd of 2025 is hereby recognized as Waste and Recycling Workers Week in Santa Rosa County in honor and recognition of the dedicated men and women who protect our community, promote health, and safeguard the environment through their critical roles in solid waste disposal, passed and adopted by the Board of County Commissioners this 12th day of June 2025, and signed by our chairman.
Cass Simoniak, Environmental Manager. I've brought with me just part of the team today. The rest are back at the landfill. Trash doesn't take a vacation, so landfill doesn't get a spring break there or summer break. These are the heroes of the hills here. These are the warriors of waste, and their mission is to deal with all the trash that comes to the central landfill every day. So they do that with skill and pride. So I do want to thank you for taking time to recognize them for Waste and Recycling Workers Week, and just ask that everyone give them a round of applause as we take our photo.
We'll do it. We'll give more a round of applause after the photo. So yeah, the great idea, and thank you, Kaz. And this team is, I used to be a much more frequent visitor of the landfill. I go every once in a while now, and I love everything that's going on out there. Some of the modernizations that you've done to things, and one of the things that I've always said to my wife, my wife and I are really. We get a lot of criticism for the recycling and stuff, but one of the things that we have to do as a community is really limit the use of and putting unnecessary things into the landfill. And it's just like my neighbor that he has a little vacation home right beside me. He's redoing his deck, and he just did his deck. I mean, he's got more money than he has since, I think, but he's got all this brand new wood, and he says, if you want this wood, otherwise, it's going to the landfill. I found somebody at my church that wanted it, and some of the things that we try to do to save space in the landfill. But you guys are on the ground force that do the work, that keep the environment safe. One of the things when I first got into office, you had a field trip out there, and Kaz, you did a wonderful job with middle schoolers. I believe it was Rhodes Middle School. And these kids were really enthralled out there. They were really having a good time watching y'all crunch up a boat. I remember that. And it was like, that's the things, it's opening their eyes to environmental sciences and things like that to get this youth more engaged in the future, in preserving our way of life in the future. And the work that you guys do, it's just, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We got him. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Kaz, you and your entire team do a fantastic job. I can think back to I've used the landfill services a number of times, and dating back to before I was a commissioner, so no one knew who in the world I was, and everyone that worked there always was very professional and very efficient, and I always found that to be a welcome change to experiences I've had in other places. So hats off to everyone. I think it's important for the public to know what you do and understand there's a reason why this is called the environmental department, right? It isn't the trash department, it isn't the sanitation. Obviously, I made some silly puns there at the beginning, but what your entire team does is really protect the environment. And I just want to remind the public out there, there's a lot of trash that gets thrown in their waste containers that can be picked up by whatever sanitation provider they choose to subscribe to. That isn't trash that needs to go in the landfill. You guys have the opportunity and the ability to take computers, cell phones, electronic devices in a different manner if people will take them to the landfill and you guys dispose of them in a different way in a safe manner that doesn't create a hazard on the roadway with fires and garbage trucks and doesn't pollute the ground. Same thing goes with used paints. Leftover paint, chemicals, things like that. And I would just encourage people to keep an eye on when when our public affairs sends out, when the PIO sends out the emails out to people about waste amnesty days. That's a huge opportunity for people to take things that they might be tempted to throw in the trash or throw in some dumpster somewhere. They can bring it to one of our participating locations and make sure they dispose of those items in a more environmentally conscious manner. But we all truly thank you for what you do. We know it's hard. We know it's hot. We know there's times when it's really cold on some of those cold days. And just appreciate what you do. And it is one of the things that I think the average citizen doesn't think about it until they need it, but they don't realize you guys are really kind of unsung heroes. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. I want to thank each and every one of you for the hard work you do. I know it's a tough job. I've been out there, and I'm going to tell on what Commissioner Wright said. Way before anybody knew who Bobby was, I'd go out there to the landfill, and people were very courteous, very helpful. Never had an issue out there. You've got some great people that you need to be proud of, and I thank you so much for everything you do. I thank you for the recycle program you have. My wife is one of the biggest advocates of recycle you ever seen. I tell people all the time, she's probably going to recycle me. So if y'all see me get thrown out there one day, y'all be a little gentle with me. She's just a big thing on recycle. So I appreciate everything you're doing, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
I want to thank y'all. I'm like Mr. Wright. I've come out there at that landfill bringing stuff. Y'all didn't know who I was, and a lot of you still don't know me when I show up. But everyone has been very nice to me, and I appreciate what y'all do. It's a nasty job, but somebody's got to do it, and I want to thank y'all for doing that job. You do a great job.
Yeah, I actually have a complaint. I've yet to drive any of the big equipment that I was promised I'd get to drive. So, no, I appreciate you guys, and thank you for what you do. I don't blame you, Kaz. I blame Chad Nowling for not letting me drive the equipment.
Mr. Chairman, before we go get the picture, I would encourage each of you, if you want to take a minute next week during the Appreciation Week to go out there and visit them, just coordinate with Cass. The new maintenance facility is close to being completed, and it's quite the facility out there. So I'd encourage you to go out there and meet with them, take a minute to shake their hand and thank them, but tour the new facility as it's getting close. So, and Cass can coordinate that with you guys.
Yes, most definitely. I will be signing up for that tour. So, all right, well, gentlemen, y'all, let's go on down and let's align this step.